end up with the United States fracturing into two countries, this would mean that certain blue areas are occupied and certain red areas are occupied, but the northernmost areas would become the corporate states of the Uniparty, and the southern states would become the Abrahamic Kingdom of America.
I just have such a it's so hard to predict, to guess what's going to happen anyways. Once you put something like that big into play, like the idea of the U.S. not having a clear president or consistent civil unrest that's beyond the stuff that you saw in 2020. I mean, there's a lot of I give a lot of credibility to the argument that the international community might say, look, the United States has more nuclear weapons than anyone else. If their government is not solid, then we should have the UN or whatever go and help support the United States federal government, end up with, foreign troops on U.S. soil. And again, I'm not saying that I'm predicting that, but it's like these things are well within possibility, So
Yeah, you guys are gonna love this.
I can't hear you.
What? I can't hear you, bro.
I said, oh, sorry. You guys are gonna love this. I don't know if Tim wants to see this, but
What is it?
what you're doing on the map.
Oh, well, I'm just calculating what's going on here in these United States based on the polling data that I've received. We're just going to go ahead and make our predictions as to what's going to happen here in 2024.
You've just been doing this in the background.
Just while you guys are talking, I'm going over the voting data over here, and it's looking pretty good.
Bring that bad boy up.
Not going to have any problems at all in the next election, as that turns out.
And it's looking good. Democrats with 1, Republicans with 537 electoral votes. So that looks like I guess I would call that a slight win for Donald Trump, 2024. Look at this. This map proves it. You see,
this map.
Yeah. It's a mudslide.
Proof.
There you go. It's common, ladies and gentlemen.
States do change over time. California used to be very Republican.
And you know why it's not anymore? Because Ronald Reagan signed a mass amnesty bill legalizing non-citizens who then engaged in chain migration. And in 1994, after Proposition 187 was signed into was ratified or however codified, that would take away access to public goods for non-citizens. The family members of these non-citizens who became their children are now in revolt over how their non-citizen family members would lose access to public services. And the protests resulted in a major swing towards the Democrats, which California has never recovered from. So, a lot of people like to point out, well, there weren't so many illegal immigrants when Ronald Reagan enacted those reforms. The fascinating thing is, let's say you live in a big house. And it's let's say you got 10,000 square feet. Or let's just say 10 bedrooms. And you share it with one person. And then one day, that one person lets in his buddy. And you say, hey, man, you can't let your friend in here. He can't live here. He's got to pay rent. You're like, oh, come on, man. It's fine if he lives here. He's not on the lease. He's on the lease. He's going to get us in trouble. And plus, we paid the security deposit already. Dude, come on. He refuses to kick him out. You guys keep fighting about it. You don't know what to do. The cops are like, we're not getting involved. Eventually, he says, I'll cut a deal with you. You let him live here. I'll do the dishes. And you go, fine. Then what happens? That dude invites his buddy over. And you go, dude, no, you can't bring your friend in. And they go, 2 against 1, we win. And now they vote. Nope, everybody who wants John to stay here, everyone raise their hand. Now 2 guys vote against you, 1 guy. And now there's 3 of them. And then they invite 2 more of their friends. And they say 5 against 1, 6 against 1, 7, 12, 13, 14. And that's what happens in California.